At the center of this debate feels like a debate over health care. And you've said repeatedly that addressing Obamacare subsidies is a December issue, but families are making their open enrollment decisions in October and November. So why shouldn't Congress give families some degree of certainty in a landscape where their premiums could double if this issue isn't taken care of? I'm not suggesting that we shouldn't do that. What I'm saying is we have to keep the lights on in the building so that we can have those discussions and debates. Republicans have made no assertions about how that will wind up, but December 31st is when the subsidies end, and so we have effectively 3 months to negotiate. You know, in the White House and in the halls of Congress, that's like an eternity. So we need the month of October to figure this out. There's a lot of thought that's gone into that on both sides of the aisle, but we need folks in good faith to come around the table and have that discussion, and we can't do it when the government is shut down. We got to remember, we sent over a very clean, very simple continuing resolution just to buy a little more time so that appropriators in both parties can have their negotiations on appropriations. We just ran out of time. We need more, and that's all this is about.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. I'm your host, the conservative libertarian here. And yes, sir, we're back with another one, man. As we all know, as of right now, this is the second week of the government shutdown. Democrats have not came to the table, and really neither are the Republicans either, because Republicans really are kind of stone cold walling this right now and saying that, yeah, they're not going to bend and they're not going to fold to what the Democrats want and their demands, which, I mean, their demands are a little outrageous. They're kind of a non-starter, if you ask me. Republicans are not going to go back and try to fix and reform the big beautiful bill to fit the needs of the Democrats. Like, it's not happening. It's going to take weeks. It could take months for that to happen, because God knows how long it took for the big beautiful bill to even get passed, where they were not doing it. And we got Hakeem Jeffries on the Today Show, and he's basically going to get humiliated on live television, and they're gonna play a clip of him saying some stuff that he said prior, back when the government was, I think, going to shut down or had shut down, and what he said back then. Now, so let's get right into this.
With us now here in the studio, House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries of New York. Leader Jeffries, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
First week where a lot of folks aren't going to be getting their paychecks. We've got hundreds of thousands of livelihoods hanging in the balance. Democrats could end this, as you know, and you could just actually extend funding levels for 7 weeks. You could kick the can down the road. Why not?
Well, it's very unfortunate that Donald Trump and Republicans have decided to shut the government down because they're unwilling to provide health care to working class Americans. We've said from the very beginning, we'll sit down with anyone, anytime, any place in order to reopen the government, find a bipartisan agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people. We need a spending agreement that improves the quality of life of everyday Americans, that doesn't hurt everyday Americans. And we also need to address this Republican health care crisis that is hurting people all across the country, rural America, working class America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities all throughout America.
So, Mr. Leader, again, longest shutdown was during the first Trump presidency. This is what you said at the time about that particular shutdown. Here it is.
We are willing to take what Senate Republicans have done in order to reopen the government so that we no longer are holding 800,000 federal workers hostage.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing right now. Hundreds of thousands of workers are being held hostage. What's changed from then to now?
Well, actually, Donald Trump is the president. Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They can cooked. You guys are trying to fight for the wrong shit right now, okay? And like I said, the more the government shuts down, the longer the shutdown happens. I don't think the Republicans are going to be the ones being blamed. Now, right now, it seems like in the polling, if you watched my video before, it seemed as if the Republicans were falling on this issue. But I think in the long run, Democrats will be the ones to blame, because the stuff that they want to negotiate, they're not going to get done. It's just not going to happen. The Republicans are not going to fold on that. So for you to even bring that up is kind of, like I said, it's a non-starter. You might as well just move on until you guys have time to actually talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But you want to talk about this right as there's a government shutdown happening? Like, bro, and you already know Trump, he ain't playing about the federal workers. He ain't playing about them dudes. He getting them out of there. I'm not a federal worker, so I can't really sit here and tell you how I truly feel about that. Do I feel bad that people are losing their jobs? A little bit, but people lose their jobs every day, though. You know what I'm saying? People lose their jobs every day to a lot of stuff. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and feel bad for everybody. It's just funny. And for him to get just checked right there for his own words, is funny because he literally had nothing. He had literally had almost nothing to say, and now he's gonna spew and repeat the same talking point to save him from the disaster that just happened right there in his face.
Reopen the government if they chose to. The reality is,
well, they would have to change the rules to be
well, that's
fair.
correct. But which they've done multiple times, including using that particular type of process to pass their one big ugly bill, which started this whole Republican health care crisis, largest cut to Medicaid in American history, ripped food out of the mouths of children, and they did it so they could reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks. All we're saying is we need a spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people, working class Americans, middle class Americans, and everyday Americans, as opposed to what they've done throughout this year, which is to reward their billionaire donors.
But again, the majority of folks certainly don't want their health care premiums to go up. And I think a lot of folks are watching this and they're wondering, why fight this battle now? Why not reopen the government and still have these conversations and negotiate over the next few months?
Yeah, it's a really good question. But the time is now to address this health care crisis.
But why now?
Well, absolutely. The enrollment period opens on November 1st. Notices have already started to go out, indicating that premiums, copays, and deductibles for tens of millions of Americans all across the country are going to dramatically increase. For example, a couple that makes $88,000 a year currently, which receives the Affordable Care Act tax credits, pays insurance of about $8,000 per year. That will triple to $24,000 a year right now. That's what people are facing right now, which is why we need to address it.
This guy's a fucking joke, bro. This guy, bro, you literally had a whole month. You had a whole month to figure that out. Close the government down before you guys could even really truly address that. Now the government shut down, and now Republicans are like, hey, they wanted to shut it down. We all said yay. They said nay. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, we want you to add stuff. They're not gonna do that. Like you have to be delusional to really think that they're gonna go back through all those pages of documents to reform any of those things that they did to the Medicaid cuts. You have to be delusional. You have to be delusional to think that this is the right thing to do just because you want to make a political stunt right now. You want to make a political stunt to save yourself. For what, bro? For what? Think about it. This is easy.
Trump did say yesterday that he wants to, quote, fix the ACA subsidies. Is that an opening?
Well, he also mentioned that in the White House meeting that we had last Monday. Unfortunately, the White House and Republican leaders have gone radio silent ever since then.
So you guys haven't even talked since last Monday?
We have not talked, but they have my number. We're willing to sit down.
But
we want to meet.
You do recognize how ridiculous it sounds that the leader of the Democratic Party,
correct,
the president of the United States, no one's even talking about reopening the government. People won't get paychecks this week.
It makes no sense, which is why we're going to be in Washington all week. Unfortunately, Republicans have actually canceled votes because they want to keep the government shut down.
All right. Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, whatever, bro. You got absolutely wrecked on this. Let me know what you guys think about like this whole situation with the government being shut down and stuff like that, because it's honestly insane. It's honestly stupid. People should not have to be in fear of losing their jobs just because Democrats want to hold up the government. You guys can figure that stuff out later down the road. Like, you guys still have time. Like, the time is not now to do this. The time can be later. It could have been even, like, if anything, if it would have happened around, like, November or, like, around closer to the end of October, say if it was going into, say we were going into October or November, the premiums were about to, like, probably start spiking around that time, and then you guys wanted to do this, I would have been like, okay, this is a little bit reasonable. A little bit reasonable. But still, I don't think the Republicans are going to bend on reforming the big, beautiful bill. I don't think they're going to do it because of how much you guys fought to not want the big, beautiful bill to get passed. You guys literally had, what's his name? I forgot his name already, but literally he sat there and filibustered the whole thing for like, what was it? I think he had like the longest filibuster, and in the long run, I think the Democrats are going to lose on this issue, and Republicans may not be winning on every issue, but they're winning on a lot of issues right now. So hey, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We are growing every day. We're getting close to that 1.9 subscriber tier. So hey, keep subscribing, keep sharing the video, liking it, and I appreciate every one of y'all. All right, peace.